All right, welcome folks to another episode. We are on our community's Zoom Up. We love to meet up so much that they can't hold us back. Now we're doing it on Zoom. So it's our Zoom Up. We're still meeting every single day, celebrating each other's success, the wins, and supporting through this interesting world that we're in right now. All the moves you got to make, how to navigate through. And we got some amazing stories of transformation, how people are utilizing the community, the information, the support, their own vision, their own hard work, and how they're creating a transformational life for them. So here we are showcasing another one. You can catch all of our previous episodes on our playlist. And today I'm joined by my co-host, Scooty. What's up,
Here I
Scooty?
am,
Chicago.
out of Chicago.
Holding down that part of the nation for
It's
us.
a cool world when I can be in Chicago, hanging out with one of my good friends in Tennessee, and then hanging out with one of the other good friends out of Hawaii. This is a technology, baby.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
All right. We are definitely blessed and highly favored to have this system set up because there's so many deals happening right now. There's so much volume. There's so much money being made out there. It's really interesting to hear how so many people are struggling from being unemployed and out of a job or out of this. And then to hear a whole nother section of the economy booming and growing, and especially in the real estate world. So, Scott, tell people what we're going to want them to do after today's episode.
All right, so you guys are going to hang out with us. You're going to see another success story. We've got over 50, I think, in the books right now, which is awesome.
Right.
And we just keep rolling. But even if you're seeing the recording now, somebody sent this to you, right? And the reason they sent it to you, maybe because the story was relatable, but you want to make sure you get to an intro, a property tour, or a workshop. Those are the three things. You're like, hey, whatever sounded good. The intro will actually describe the function of how we do this thing. A property tour will show off the success of one of the students and their deals. A workshop is actually information about a topic. So you get to pick. Do you want to come to an intro, a property tour, or a workshop? Get back in touch with the person who invited you here and tell them what you want to do next.
Perfect. And then also catch some of these previous episodes too, because there are some amazing stories, some tear jerkers even. So be prepared.
There have been some crying going on.
Yeah. Okay. And today we have another amazing story. We're really excited. He's a big support for hundreds of people around the nation, as well as in his local area. He's supporting the Hawaii team on all fronts.
His local area being in the middle of the Pacific
Right.
Ocean.
Local.
We appreciate you.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
And he's doing some big things. He's going to tell us about some current deals he's on, as well as where he came from, who he is, where his transformation started, and what he's capable of doing now. So everyone, help me welcome Mr. Richie GP.
Good morning, everyone. Yeah, it's still morning here.
We're
Sorry,
happy.
you're gonna have to forgive me. I didn't get to sleep until like 4 this morning. So,
And tell us why. What were you doing?
Taking care of my newborn.
Oh, beautiful.
I mean, she's actually like a month old, little over a month old now. So it's she's in that stay up all day, go to sleep all day and stay up all night mode. So
Okay.
getting used to that myself, and it's so fun. It's so fun. But yeah, my name is Richie Galarse-Pancoast. I'm out in Pearl City, Hawaii, which is like overlooking Pearl Harbor. If you guys want to look at the geographical terrain of Oahu. And I'm a few miles away, which means I'm like 2 hours away from Honolulu, traffic-wise, So we are. I've been part of this community for almost 6 years now, which is mind-blowing because it's been 6 months since I met these two amazing gentlemen on the screen with me. So, hey, happy 6 years, guys.
Wow. Congrats. We made it.
Yeah.
Actually, I remember coming out to Hawaii, hanging out with you, right? In that office. Yeah. We did that regional, everybody came in, checked it out. You've been a driving force since then, so we appreciate you.
Oh, thank you so much. No, I mean, honestly, this my life changed when you guys walked into the room. Honestly, I was working at a company that taught a very cool strategy in finance, and we it was kind of like this shared knowledge thing, where we heard of Renatus through one of the amazing guys out there, John O'Neill, and he was introduced to a very cool concept that we now call velocity banking. Now, even without this meetup or this meeting, I'm sure that velocity banking would have gone into Renatus in somehow, some way. But it was just a fateful day that me being a part of a company that was teaching this strategy before it all got taken into Renatus and blown up in that fashion. I'm just grateful to be in the right place at the right time, it seems. And so taking that strategy, and I remember taking my first classes, and velocity banking wasn't part of it back then, but taking my first classes, and I was like, whoa, what if we did this with the finance strategy? What if we did this with the finance strategy? And so we just molded all these amazing things together, us students as as employees of that company and as Renata students, and we started doing deals like mad. It's just been so fun ever since. So now it's been 6 years, and I'm not as crazy as a lot of people out there. I'm very conservative, very numbers driven, very I guess you could say I can never accept a deal that doesn't give me a certain amount of ROI, or although it's all infinite, I do play with other people's money a lot. But I tend to have this idea of making sure that this amount of money is made, and if it's beyond this, then I mean, if it's smaller than that, then I'm going to strike it. So I can't really go into that deal. So I've gotten 17 deals done in 6 years, but they're every single one of them were profitable. Every single one were really profitable, and they were in a mix of fix and flips and buy and holds, really. And with that, I'm actually working on right now 2 more buy and holds out in Utah. Believe it or not, I'm actually a major partner in a small team out there, and we're acquiring 2 more properties this week. Should be done by this week. I'm sending out my contracts and my trust deeds right now to get these locked in, and we already got them in contract, but finishing them up right now. So all we need to do is transfer money and we're good to go. So it's exciting.
Yeah. 2 more this week. That's how you finish out a strong year. So help me understand, for all the people who are listening as well, you were already involved in the financial world.
Sure.
In a way, you were already helping people with numbers and with finances, but real estate was never in your wheelhouse. It was not a thing. Because I know there's a lot of people say, well, I'm a financial planner, I'm an advisor, I do insurance, I do something in finances, so I'm good, I already know.
Right. No, see, I was one of those people who were looking for that edge in my finances. Originally I was an IT professional. Keep this in mind. Before getting into finance and then finding out about real estate, I was a IT professional. But the cool thing about that was, I would be visiting people's homes and putting in their systems, and whether it be networks and even home theater systems and stuff like that. I would be designing and installing these things. And you should see the homes here in Hawaii. I mean, holy moly! Like, some of these houses, these guys are spending maybe $400,000 on their computer and home theater systems, just to merge them all and get them all smart. And I'm like, well, I'm in the wrong business. I get to play with these amazing toys, but they're never going to be mine. That's the idea that I had, and I hated that. And so one day I decided I got to leave the IT world and get into something that's going to get me to that world. And my first indication to get into that world was when I finally got the guts to ask this person or these people who were playing with these toys, what are you doing? Like, what am I doing wrong? Well, how do I get to where you're at? And, they always say, I'd say about maybe 100% of the time, okay, let me bring it down. I know that that kind of percentage freaks people out, but let's say it's 98.999% of the time, it was their answer was, I'm a real estate investor and I'm a business owner. The rest of them were attorneys and doctors. And so, it kind of blew my mind that, like, okay, I got to learn how to own my business and I got to learn how to get into real estate investing. And so finance was just one of those weak points in my life. So I decided, you know what, let me find something like that. My buddy introduced me to the that finance concept we now call velocity banking. I became a student of it. Um, I did some amazing things with it. I paid off $36,000 of student loan and credit card debt in 6 months using that strategy. And it blew it kind of got around with that company that was teaching me. And the owner asked if I wanted to, come in and work for them. And we worked it out. I said, yeah, let's go full time. It's going to be awesome, because I was working, two part-time, no, one full-time job, one part-time job before this. And he just decided, you know what, let's just match everything that you were making before, including your free cable because you worked at the cable company. And let's bring you into this. And so that's what he did. And I was just working over there, and I just delved in, started surrounding myself with some amazing finance people, and just the idea of putting myself into a different knowledge spectrum started making me think, wow, my dreams can actually come true. So when with all these decisions being made, of course, my wife is there, making sure that we do everything right and supporting it, and we do it together. So me leaving the IT world was a huge step for me. Uh, it just got me really out of my comfort zone. But once I started growing that comfort zone and leveling myself up, it just made me feel like there's something more out there. And when you talk about being in the finance world, I have met a lot of those who are so comfortable with what they're doing, and I get that. It's a very it's a very hard thing to look outside of the box, especially when you've been hammered in that there is a specific way to do something. And I totally get that. But once I started really opening my mind and realizing that I have so much more to learn, that's when seeing our education services just it really opened up my mind and opened my heart. It opened my soul and realized, man, there is win-win all over the place. There's so many ways to make this work for me, my family, and all the people that I'm actually able to support. And it just rocked my world. So I'm just so grateful to be in that place, learning what I've learned, meeting the people that I've met, and taking that knowledge and experience and then bringing it to more people around the nation because of meeting Scooty and Michael, and John O'Neill and Bob Snyder, and all the rest of the people who have really just shifted my focus to dreams instead of it is what it is. And for
So,
those who know me, you know that I hate that phrase. It is what it is.
right, we don't settle, not around here. So when you finally transition, so now you were in the financial world, you were getting your clients results, you were loving it, and then to be shown, hey, this is real estate, and this is how we're going to go from double speed to 10x speed. What was
Yeah.
that transition like for you?
Well, before seeing what our education service offers, I was looking into all the other things out there. Played the cash flow game, saw some guru programs fly in and out of Hawaii, like they do, and none of it just captured me. The reason why is because a lot of the times it was I needed to buy some super expensive program and then fly around the nation and not really do anything here, which didn't make any sense to me. I'd have to follow some guy around, right, to try and learn what I need to learn. And then when our program came to me, I'm like, wow, I watch Netflix already. I could actually do these classes while I'm supposed to be at my lunch break, or I can, watch late at night and start really taking in information. If I had any questions, I could actually email these people that are, because back then we didn't have really a community. So I could email people that brought this over to us. And, it was just amazing to be able to take that responsibility upon myself instead of relinquishing that responsibility on some dude to take me through and do this and do that. No, I'd rather just be able to take the information for myself and make my own decisions based on the numbers that I get, that the numbers that I've learned how to run. And that's just been great.
So I got two.
I got a question. My turn.
Okay, go.
Ready? Okay.
Go.
Question. From the time you experienced that first exposure to the community to your first deal, and what was it? How much did you make?
So the first, I got into the education, and it took about 6 months to be able to execute on my first deal, or our first deal. And it wasn't here. It wasn't in Hawaii. It was still very much out of my comfort zone to be. I mean, on the home price average here right now is like around $820,000 right now. 6 years ago, it wasn't as much, but it was still close to that. And so when I got into the education, I figured, well, let's take a look at things on the mainland. What's possible over there? And I delved into the Utah community, the Salt Lake City community, and we started looking at figuring out how we can make things work together.
Okay, hold on. I got a
Go for
question.
Yeah.
I'm playing like I don't know this guy in Hawaii, and I'm not gonna. All right. So when you say I delved into the Utah community, you're not talking about the Utah neighborhoods. You're talking about the Utah community of investors.
Yes, the Utah community of
This
investors.
community investors, yeah. Okay.
Yes. So the reason why is because, again, we didn't have a community here, and whatever community that was here is brand spanking new. So it's not like we can use that as experience. We figured, we got communities across the nation. These are communities of investors across the nation. Why not instead of stay victim with, oh, there's no community here, let's find out what's going on over there. And we live in a world of Skype and Zoom and all these other really amazing tools. Why not reach out to people in that fashion and be able to start doing deals over there? And so I found some amazing people out in the Utah community, and we started looking at things, and we found an amazing no money out of pocket property. I basically used the velocity banking strategy to acquire this property and put it into our names and eventually our business. I don't want to get too much detail into that, but the fact of the matter is we started making cash flowing $500 a month with no money out of our pocket. It kind of felt like, we just, even though I'm working full-time, my wife's working full-time, I felt like, we gave ourselves a $6,000 a year raise. And so I started putting it into that perspective. What would I have to do at my job to get a $6,000 a year raise or $500 more a month? and the answers came to me. Well, you can't. It's impossible unless you decided to have this huge promotion, which would never happen, or kiss enough, corporate butt to get to that point. No, it's not going to happen. So I'm just going to go ahead and do it for myself. That was the first deal. The next, 10 deals happened shortly right after. And majority of them were buy and hold and small fix and flips.
I'm a math guy. I'm a math guy. So here we go. You say shortly right after, my brain says, what does shortly sound like? Like you 6 months into that first deal, you added $500 a month. Then what does shortly look like for the next 10?
Okay, so
what span of time? Like from the one deal to you're 6 months in, how many to the next 10?
Right. So it was 6 months to 1 year after. It just took a year for me to get into 10 more deals.
So in 12, okay, so if you're saying that 6 months you get your first deal, you just added a $6,000 a month or a year raise to your life. And then you're like, I got this. And then now you got 10 more deals in the next 12 months.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Bravo.
Yeah, thank you. It everything just moved like super speed from there, because majority of the times it was like, how do I do this? How do I do this? And then I got to fill the blanks in with the education and with the people around me, and that's why it got easier. I got to the point where I was able to promote my wife to call in status she's a registered nurse and she's working full time at the hospital, and to drop themselves from full time to call in status whenever basically she could just pick up whatever shift she really wanted. That was like one of the things that I really really wanted to get done. Um, Eventually I actually left my position, left my position at that company, and just started doing things on my own. And we just started running that business in that fashion. Eventually, getting to a point where my wife wanted to keep using her license and keep using her degree that she worked so hard for. She went back to work, but she works from home now, which is awesome. So it's like we still got that time, but we still got that money coming in as far as that security goes. And one of the strategies that one of our instructors, Mark Kohler, talks about is taxmatch.com. The whole entire thing where a real estate professional partnered up with a W-2 worker makes the taxes so much, the tax strategy is so much easier to work with. So, there's so many different ways on how we look at it, but all in all, it's still money coming in. It's still, less taxes paid, and, just a phenomenal thing that we're doing right now.
And so,
Okay. I'm sorry, go ahead. Go
does she
ahead.
still work?
Yeah, so she's still working. Well, she's taking a 3-month break now for the baby, because she can. And good company.
Yeah.
But yeah, she just ever since, even before COVID, she was working from home. That's the position. She's a registered nurse who basically handles, uh, you know, cases from home, kind of a thing, where I'm over here working on the real estate business and bringing the community, trying to make the community bigger here in Hawaii. So that's what we do, and we got 4 kids now, and they see too much of us now.
Great. Okay, so here's my question. So went from 6-month one deal, the next 12 months, were those all buy and holds? Were they flips, wholesales? Were they stuff?
There was 3 flips and the rest were buy and holds, so 7 buy and holds.
Okay, so
But then
okay.
they ended
So
up
my question-
flipping out later. But yeah, go ahead.
Oh, you sold the buy and holds already?
Yes.
Okay. So right now, how many buy and holds you have?
Well, these 2 are going to be the ones that are going to be back into our portfolio. So right now we don't have any buy and holds until we get these next 2. This was my goal for this year. This whole COVID-19 thing kind of made things really interesting. And so my goal was, I want to get 4 done this year. I'm going to get 4 buy and holds done. So we should be getting these 2 done, and the other 2 should be done in the next coming months. I tried to get it done before 2020 ended for the other 2, but that looks like it's going to be on hold. But they're still there. They're still available. They're still ready to pounce on, and we're in total control over it due to our amazing strategies that we have. Nobody else can grab them. Just putting it out there.
When you know what you're doing.
When you know what you're doing. It's really fun to say, hey, I got these properties and I have the ability to take full control over them, but hey, you know what, things are happening right now, so I could delay on that, but nobody else could touch them. It's a very powerful thing to have in your arsenal. So if you guys learn about lease options and all these things, just realize that those are very powerful tools. So get them out there.
That's what we do. We equip you with the right tools. Cool. And congrats again on building up a community around you. Right? Like you mentioned, at one point, there was nobody. And we started creating this hub. And now you're here helping as many people as you can. And then it's just spawning that leadership around the nation. So thank you for helping support that. You are definitely making an impact in a lot of people's lives that way. and
Thank you.
and gives us another reason to go visit Hawaii. Make it a write-off.
Okay, guys, let me just finish this up. Mr. Bamboo, who's out there in Tennessee, that's Michael Huggins. I don't know if you don't know this. Michael Huggins started when he was 22 years old. He's now 32. He quit his Jiffy Lube job at I don't know, 22,000 a year. You did one deal.
Yep.
And you were able to quit your job because of the math, and that's it. We're here for math. When you come to a webinar like this, you're like, how can I get away from need of job, need of dependence on somebody else, and start designing my life? So right now, that kid at 32 years old, sitting on 265 acres, about to create a bamboo empire, whatever, sustainable gardening empire, the treehouse empire. This kid's property is so big that he finds cabins in his backyard he didn't know existed when he bought the place. So, pretty crazy. You want to tell him what to do next, man?
Yep. So follow us. We have a system. We have a plan. Scott's got an amazing story too. We actually did a whole episode just on him. So go and check that out. But these are all math-based decisions. How do I get myself a raise? How do I get my wife this? How do I pay for college? How do I just make sure that you're following the math? And we have several workshops for you to attend and strategy sessions, one-on-one or two-on-one, so we can show you how to bridge that gap from where you are to the dream and what you want. We got to close that gap. So get on the calls, get on the training. Thanks again, Richie, for being here and sharing your story, your transformation. And from what it sounds like, we're just getting started with you and your transformation. Who knows what the next 6 years are going to be like?
It's these last 6 years have been amazing. I mean, living in Hawaii has always been a struggle because of cost of living and everything like that. But because of this program, it gave me that ability to feel like, wow, I could live comfortable for the first time. And that's been going on for the last 6 years. But I don't want comfort anymore. Thanks, Michael. nice pep talk on the beach in North Shore.
Yeah.
Get out of your comfort zone, Richie, because right now you're just living steadily. Let's see what you could do here. Let's see what you could do here. Let's see what you can do there.
Yeah.
And that's been on my in my playlist in my mind ever since. So
Good.
Thank you for that. And yeah, we're here to level up, man. It's awesome.
Right. Level up, man. Keep up the great work. You're a shining example. We appreciate you.
Thank you,
Scott, for
Thank you,
being
Stevie.
here.
Thank you so much, man. It's an honor.
Everybody, tune in for our next episode. Thanks for being here today. And feel free to share these videos. Have a great day, everyone. Bye now.